Unfinished project number 2. Last year I tried to make a scarf before I went on holiday to England. As you can tell, that didn't happen. I thought I'd do these little squares and make this kind of patchwork effect, but I don't think that's going to work. So I started by putting it back on the needles and picking up all the slip stitches and just getting it ready to start again. Here's me starting again and just continuing from where I left off. And this is when I realized that I had been doing the wrong stitches. I was supposed to be doing the opposite to create the square pattern. So I took my needle out, unthreaded the row I just did, and started putting it back on again. And then I said, stuff it. I don't even think I like this square quilted effect. I just don't think it's going to work for the scarf that I want. So I turned to Pinterest, had a look at some scarves, saw this one and thought, I can do a rib stitch. That seems easy. So I got my yarn. Don't ask me how wide it is. I have no idea. Can't find the packaging. I am using 5mm knitting needles, and now I'm going to cast on. I think I cast on 50 stitches. For the first row, I am doing knit, purl, and this should give me a single rib stitch. Second row, same thing, knit, and bring the yarn forward and purl. So I discovered that I was actually doing what's called English style knitting. It is good, as you can see, but you have to go around and hold the needles, and I was finding my left hand was sort of cramping and hurting, and it just wasn't very fast, no matter how fast I was. It was easy enough to do, but not as effective. So I researched other ways to knit and discovered continental knitting. And this looked good, especially when you're going from knit to purl, knit to purl, knit to purl. So here is me trying my best to have a go at continental knitting. And I think the muscle memory is just not there yet. But it is so much more effective. As you can see, knit straight to purl. You don't have to let go of the needles. You don't have to pass the yarn all the way around. It just goes straight across. And here's me still struggling, but I'm getting there. What do you think of the final thing? It's a tiny bit short, and because of that I added these tassels with some leftover wool that I had from another project. I don't know if I love it, but I made it. So, you know, I'm happy enough. I wish the darker colours were like lower. That's just the way the wool was. And I know it's pretty ordinary, but I'm proud of myself for finishing it. And wear this now, never, because I live in a climate where it's about 30 degrees every single day. So I do not need a scarf unless I go somewhere else. We shall see. I better go on a ski trip now.